Welcome back to Iron Completionist, the series where I'm aiming to fill the collection log and do all of the completable, non-repeatable content in RuneScape. Last time I introduced the Eternal Glory Grind, which is going to be a very long journey, and we poked around at Tombs of Amasket some more to acquire our Ava's Recolor. Since I've been dipping my toes in the endgame content more and more lately, I decided I wanted to continue down that path in this video, but not at the Tombs of Amasket. As always, I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure you leave a like if you do. This week, I wanted to try something different. Something challenging. Something with hundreds of ways to play and tons of different champions. That's right, it's Raid Shadow Legends, available on mobile and PC. Speaking of something cool and new, Raid has actually just released a brand new faction called the Sylvan Watchers with tons of new champions. They made their home in the Mistwood, a huge jungle east of Teleria, which you probably wouldn't want to trespass on if you value your life. Plus, all of these character models are actually really cool, and they all feel like they're kind of like in tune with nature in some different kinds of ways. And to kick off the new year, Raid has a bunch of updates, including a huge one with a bunch of new features, like a new season of the Forge Pass and the Plarium Points program, where you can earn tons of stuff, including a new champion. Also, it's their 4th anniversary later this year, so this month we'll also see the Titan event, which has tons of cool rewards as well. On top of all of that, there's also the Champions Elect event, where all new players can vote on a favorite starter champion to potentially win tons of in-game and even real-life prizes, from epic and legendary champions to even Amazon gift cards worth up to $1,000. When the event ends on February 10th, one champion is crowned and the prize winners will be selected. So make sure you guys scan the QR code on screen, and if you're new, you can get a free starter pack with all this cool in-game loot and a free champion Jotun. And in case you didn't know, MMA fighter and pro wrestling star Ronda Rousey has her own champion in Raid, which you can also get by just opening the game for 7 days before February 20th, and you can use promo code RAIDRONDA to get a bunch of useful in-game items. All this stuff will be sent directly to your inbox. A lot of you guys have probably noticed that I've been poking at the endgame a little bit more than I normally do. And this is going to be no exception. I want to actually try to do some challenge mode raids in this video. Now, again, I don't really have a whole lot of experience with challenge mode raids. The only ones that I've done, aside from the literal one solo that I did for the diary, is with people who basically carried me through it. However, as you can see, a lot of my log at Chambers of Xeric is not filled in. In reality, I am only missing the Ancestral Top, the Twisted Bow, and the Elder Maul, but, I mean, I might as well be doing challenge mode to refill these other slots, and I have a chance of getting the Metamorphic Dust, as well as getting the Twisted Ancestral Color Kit, and working on getting all of these challenge mode capes. Now, challenge mode raids are another one of those things that are done way faster in teams than solo, and you can see the target time for solo is 1 hour and 10 minutes, and then it descends quite a bit as you get further and further down the list, and stays at about 45-42 minutes for the majority of the remainder, which is a lot more reasonable than 1 hour and 10. However, I figure I might as well try to start doing these instead of non-CM solos, again, because it's progress towards the capes and the dust, and it's not probably terribly inefficient for points. So this way I don't have to scout either, which is kind of nice. There are a couple of really big differences between challenge mode raids and regular Chambers of Xeric, and the main one is you don't have to scout. I mentioned it earlier, but challenge mode raids follow the same rotation that I'll put on screen right now every single time. Other than that, the main differences are that things just have way higher defense and deal way more damage. It's very common to get absolutely melted by things like the Mutadile, which of course comes towards the very end of the raid. But the reason I'm starting to do these now is because the Osmumten's Fang is very strong against Tecton, which is kind of infamous for having very high defense in CM raids, and is also very strong against Vanguards, which have a similar problem. So hopefully it can cut straight through everything, and I can make these raids pretty consistent. Alright, so Olmhead definitely still kind of blows, but we did manage to finish a challenge mode Chamber of Xeric run in a little bit over an hour. So, I mean, with the points that I got in the time that I got, that is just like 1k points per minute. It's definitely not extremely efficient, but if I were to count in the time it takes me to actually scout raids, I would say this is probably more or less equivalent to just doing normal raids if I can keep it up at this pace. However, I didn't die this run, and I feel like I got a little lucky at some points, but Maybe I can wedge that time down to be closer to like 50 minutes, and then it'll be way more efficient. Also, to those of you who might not remember, I am like extremely dry at raids right now. I think it's been like, I'm like 3 or 4 times the rate without seeing an item currently. So it would be nice to not only get a new collection log slot, maybe the bow would be really nice, but just to, you know, break the dry streak, man. Looking at this board actually makes me kind of sad, because it's a Friday, which is several days after the servers have reset, and I'm the only one who's even completed a solo CM on this world since then. I just feel like this content could have been so much better if they gave it the love and attention it deserved, and originally when it was proposed, they said they were going to make seasonal rotations of challenge mode raids. Instead, they kind of just lumped every boss in there, so maybe one day we'll see something like that, but I feel like it's just one of those things that slipped through the cracks and never really got talked about again. Smart thrall pathing, they say, as my thrall steps back and forth for 30 seconds, not attacking anything. I just died with health. Excuse me? Game. That's not how that works. If you have health, you don't die. Well, I still made the time, which is good, but lost 20k points in the process of that weird death. Though I have to admit, Fang is making such a massive difference here, it's actually making these kind of fun. You know, the bright side is that even if I die at the end of raids like that, it hurts my chances of getting a unique, but I can still actually get the Twisted Ornament kit and the Omelet recolor, the Metamorphic Dust, because that's not point-based, that's just whether or not you complete it within the time. So far, this is kind of nice. No experience, but Fang is certainly helping a lot. Well, would you look at that. That is a bear's task and exactly what I'm looking for. I decided to take a little bit of a detour from CM raids because it's the weekend, and those of you who play on the weekend know the servers get a little bit less stable, and in solo raids, you don't want an unstable server. However, this bear's task is exactly what I was looking for. Up until now, I've been putting off doing Wildy Slayer or Wildy Slayer bosses because of the fact that I don't have a Wildy weapon. I only have 252 KC here at Callisto, but now that I have the Fang, I don't actually have to wait until I get a Wildy weapon from Revs. Because Callisto has such freakishly high defense, the Asmomtan's Fang is actually the perfect weapon to use against Callisto, and might actually be one of the things that is going to encourage me to use these Trover parchments, if I can ever find them, that have been sitting in my bank for a very long time. Now, under normal circumstances, you'll probably see me using some gear like this at Callisto. Makes sense, high prayer bonus, incredibly high accuracy, a lot of, you know, things for extra damage and whatnot. But there's one method I want to try that's actually going to be a little different. And there's only one really big downside to this method. I'm going to be taking this. And you might be thinking, what in the absolute hell is this guy thinking? But let me explain. The point of this method is pretty straightforward. I'm going to go up there, probably use Vengeance, and a full inventory of food. And that is it. Vengeance and food, and I'm going to run out there, and I'm going to kill Callisto, and then I'm probably going to die. And I'm going to do that over and over and over and over and over again. Now, you don't have to literally take 4 items. I decided to take out Prossy, some rune gloves, an Arty cloak, and climbing boots as well, because those are all very cheap and easy items to reobtain. And then you just go out here and venge and face tank Callisto. It seems kind of silly, but the reason that it's so good is because when you die, all of the items that you were killed for by Callisto get put into a PVM gravestone. And when you get PK'd by an actual player out here, that gravestone doesn't go to them, it just stays there. Meaning, you can get PK'd by someone and you only lose the items that you got on that trip. For example, if I was out here and I got a 4 to 5 kill trip, died, came back, and then got killed by a PKer after getting 2 more kills, the PKer would only get the loot for those 2 kills. They wouldn't get the loot for all 6. So basically, I can just stay out here and at most I'm only risking 2 to 5 kills worth of loot at a time, and it's actually really fast to do it this way. I don't have to worry about luring Callisto to the other safe spot, which takes a good amount of time. I don't have to worry about looking out for PKers, because if I die, I'm losing next to nothing, so it really doesn't bother me at all. I'm not entirely sure how many kills per hour this is, but let's go ahead and give it a test. Now, I'll be honest, originally I didn't really fully understand this method either, so I was kind of running out at the end of some of my trips, which is a mistake. It's actually easier to just let yourself die and then teleport back up. I'd say really the only downside to the Suicide Callisto method is that I can't actually use the Imbued Ring of Wealth here, because whether it's a player death or a PVM death, I still lose the Ring of Wealth imbued when I get killed in the wilderness, so I decided to just opt for the B-Ring for now as a +1, and I guess technically my Slayer Helm's my +1, but so far I haven't seen anyone, so if I get smited and eat my words, so be it. Well, one of my friends came online and asked me if I wanted to attempt some duo necks. So we're going to be trying that. I don't know if I really have the gear or the skill to do duo necks, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. And hopefully someone else comes online so we can try and do some trio. I'll let you guys know how this goes. In case you guys are wondering if duo is possible with my gear, yes, it is very possible, but that's thanks in part to two things. The first of those things being the theme of this video, the Asmumten's Fang. It is incredibly accurate at necks and means that the consistent damage output I can do is actually enough to make duo kills possible, in addition to the Blood Fury. Now, the second thing is my teammate Gitson. He has shown me a lot of little minutia and ways to avoid damage here, and he does a lot of the tanking on this boss. Like, as you can see right now, that red line symbolizes Nex's aggro range, and I'm standing outside of it, so the boss actually can't target me here, meaning he's the one taking all of the damage here. He's doing this to help me try and get some of the uniques in my name since I'm still splitting with him, and he doesn't really care about getting the drops in his name on his main. So, big thank you to him. He would stop exclusively maging me, that would be pretty sick. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, nice.
Solo Torva? No. Dragon Bolts, though.
Okay, not bad.
38.
A lot of shards.
38 shards, god damn. Well, as you guys can see by these kill times, 11 minutes. Our average time was about 10 to 11.5 minutes in a duo, but we were pretty successful. We got most of the kills we attempted, only had to leave a few times, and I think I got around like 10 kills there or something. But as you can imagine, it's like 5 kills per hour, and then if you count KC time, it's probably a little less than 5 kills per hour. So we were here for a good 2 or 3 hours, and unfortunately didn't see any loot this time, but hopefully next time we will. And it's time to head back to Callisto and test our luck here. And my mic was muted for this clip, which is great. But that's a dragon pickaxe for the collection log, which is nice. And that is 7.4 million GP right now, and they're actually just only going up, like, by a lot. Believe it or not, the dragon pickaxe is actually a really, really big drop. You might be thinking, why the heck does it matter? Because you probably already have one. And you're right, I do. In fact, I actually have a crystal pickaxe in my bank. It's because next time I head over to the Tombs of Mascot, I can actually deposit it there. And you're probably thinking, again, who freaking cares? Well, I don't have to leave my crystal pick in there if I do that, which means I can do other things like chambers or, you know, Volcano or anything that involves using a pickaxe without having to worry about it. The crystal pick offers no advantages over the dragon pickaxe there for whatever reason, Jagex. So this is actually something I've been looking forward to getting. God, I love when you guys recognize me in game. Now, I will still be doing Callisto for the Tyrannical Ring, and honestly, the occasional chance of the pet. I probably won't do, like, full tasks here every time I'm doing Wildy Slayer, especially not after I get the ring, but, I mean, hey, the Callisto pet is a really, really cool one, and I'd love to get it, so considering this method's actually pretty decent, I don't know, we'll see, I guess. This is one of the few cases where I will actually be running to the bank no matter how much food I have left, and that's when I have a Laren's Key. And the reason for that is, if I get killed by a player, they can obviously take the Laren's Key, but if I get killed by a monster, it just disappears. I'm not sure why that happens, but it doesn't go in the grave, it just disappears. So I really don't want to lose these things, as it's the main reason I'm doing Wilderness Slayer. Ooh, look at that. A dragon two-hander sword as well. Two-hander? Two-handed? I don't know. A dragon 2H. Pretty coal to see. Unfortunately, I already have this one on the log, so it doesn't really mean anything. But, it's honestly, what is this, Alk for? 132k? I'll take it. How did I get away from that? What are you guys doing? How the fuck did you let me get away from you there? There's 3 of you. There's 3 of you. What are you doing? Well, there we go. That is an entire task done at Callisto. 86 bears, 26.8 thousand experience, and a mighty 1 Laren's Key, which is actually really weird. I expected to get way more than that, but we did get the dragon pickaxe, so I'm not complaining about it at all. This did actually take like a little more than 4 hours in total, so I'm assuming that if you actually, you know, truly count banking time and everything else, then it is around 20-ish kills an hour. I mean, I did have to teleport and run away from PKers like once or twice, which obviously adds some time. And of course, dying, getting stuff out of the bank, running back, it does take a little bit of time. But still, I mean, it's not bad. It's better than I expected, and it's definitely a lot more relaxing than the safe spot method, and there's less hopping and dying than the safe spot method as well. Also, probably could have been faster if I had done it not at peak times. It looks like we're jumping right into another boss with Scorpia. Scorpia is another boss that I am actually going to be doing my willy tasks at because I'm just missing the shards. I got the pet a long time ago, and I mean, obviously I got the shards a long time ago too. And once I'm done with Scorpia with Scorpion tasks, this one becomes super, super free. So definitely want to get that done. Wait, what? I'm pretty sure I just got a Laren's key from like this level 2 Scorpia's offspring in, or level 15, I guess. Scorpia's offspring in here. Future me, put the rate of that on screen, because that's got to be rare as hell, dude. Alright, well, that's that task done. Unfortunately, still no shards there. Obviously, you don't really get the full 70 whatever kills on the task when you do this, because every barrage kills a couple of the little ones, but hey, we got a Laren's key, so no complaining. Well, I've stepped away from these for a couple days because of ping, but now that the weekend's over, let's go back to doing some challenge mode raids and getting absolutely destroyed by fun pathing mechanics like this right here, where Muta just walks out of the safe spot and decides he wants to chomp my face. Dude, if there is one thing in CM raids that has yet to make me understand the way CM raids work, it's how tilting Muta is. I went in there with 7 brews, used all of them, and then he paths out of the safe spot and kills me. Like, what the heck, man? Man, that was still such a huge time PB for me, man. 58 minutes. That was a huge time PB for me. I would have been like 2 or 3 minutes faster, too, if I hadn't died on Muta. So, I mean, like, clearly I'm at least getting better at doing challenge modes, but I don't know. I guess there's just some things you can't really fight, like Muta hitting you 55-55 constantly. I don't know. Oh, come on. This is the first purple I've had in about 4 times the rate worth of purples. And it's an arcane. You may be thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal. Arcanes, they're pretty common. They happen. And I agree with you. They do. They do happen. It's 1.4 mil, I guess. It's something, right? Although my normal loots from raids are pretty close to 1 mil in these because, you know, 60,000 points. But then if we go over here and we look at the collection log, and since the collection log has come out, you know, I've done a handful of raids, and oh, 6 arcane prayer scrolls, 0 dex prayer scrolls. Absolutely brutal Olm fight. No back-to-back either. Feels terrible. But we did get a new PB by a couple seconds there. 58 minutes, 40 seconds. Looks like I'm definitely getting, like, a little bit faster every run. And 920k in an elite. It's not bad. Nothing on that, but shaved a few minutes off the PB again. We're down to 56.22 now, which is pretty good. We're getting a lot better. Okay, I know I haven't shown you guys every single one, but I literally just got back. And that is the first Hellhound that I killed since getting back. This is my 6th, I'm not even exaggerating, 6th hard clue this task. And honestly, I'm here for it. This is great, because I'm trying to save up a ton of hard clues for another big episode, like I might have mentioned already. So, nice. Alright, what's our 100th wieldy task gonna be? Because it's certainly not gonna be magic axes. I am definitely not doing that task. I also just attempted to pickpocket a guard. Hill Giants, what an easy one. Hey, there is our 100th wieldy slayer task for 625 points. You are seeing that right. 625 points for that. That is nuts. I mean, the rate at which I'm getting Laren's keys is still very slow, much like Konar Slayer, unless you're getting the tasks that give you superiors in the wilderness. Really not getting very many of these keys, so hopefully I can get some barrage tasks or, you know, just more stuff that drops hard clues, because honestly I'm perfectly fine with that. Alright, so I got another task of bears. I am going to do this one at Callisto again, but then I think I probably won't do any more Callisto for the rest of this video, because I don't want to do like 500 Callisto in one video and then get bored of it when I actually want to try and start going for the pet. So, you know, slowly but surely, passive is probably the best way to do most things in RuneScape. Hey, look at that. That is another dragon pickaxe. Alright, I'll take another one. 7.6 mil still. Gonna throw that right in the coffer most likely. I don't see this thing staying this high for long, but hey, I could be wrong. You never know. And I just noticed I forgot to get a new charged glory, so I guess we have to run all the way down to 20 wilderness with this dragon pick, so hopefully we don't see anyone. Alright, well that is that task done at Callisto. 70 kills, pushing just past 400 KC, and a second dragon pickaxe in this video. Honestly, nothing to complain about there, but 0 Laren's keys. So yeah, once again, if my focus is trying to get a couple of Laren's keys, I think I'm gonna stop doing Callisto this go around. I'll probably still do Scorpia though. What did my cannon kill that gave me an easy clue? Was it something over here? My cannon, I think, killed one of these thugs off in Narnia over here, and I got an easy clue while doing this mammoth task. Alright, nice. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why I actually use the Bofa on all my tasks and always fight back if I'm getting attacked by just one player. I made that guy teleport! There's no fucking way! Hey, look at that. That is another Trover parchment. Well, what am I gonna do with it? That's a great question. I actually have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do with it. It's kind of weird because originally I thought I was gonna use all these when I was killing Callisto, but the more that I've, you know, done Wieldy Slayer methods and done Callisto, the more I realize that the method that I was doing earlier this video seems like it's more than appropriate. And Trover parchments, I'm pretty sure, go away when you die, even if it's not to a PKer. Another Trover parchment. And a lot of these things now. Now that's a good one. 205 Abyssal Demons. Very excited to do this. I also get double Elite Clue Scrolls out here on this task with the Ring of Wealth. That is actually really nice. Looks like it is back to Scorpia after a little bit of a break here. I think I'm up to like 20 Laren's keys now, and I don't get them very quickly. Probably not counting the Callisto tasks, like 15-ish hours of Wieldy Slayer run at this point. I think I'm just getting a little unlucky with the ones that I'm doing, but I'm choosing not to skip like Greater Demons and stuff too, because as you can see, my hard clue stack is growing a decent amount, so it's mostly just a lot of banking and doing the hard clues. Okay, I guess I do have a Ring of Wealth on. How am I gonna get a shield left tap before a freaking shield piece? Hey, there we go. The Odium Shard 3, very nice. Happy to finally pick up one of these. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've gotten the drop from here. I think I've done like probably 300 kills since coming back or something without getting one, so very nice to grab one. Oh, there we go. Alright, you know what? All the bad luck caught up to me. Odium Shard 3 and Malediction Shard 3. That means that I don't have to kill Scorpia anymore. That's awesome. Give me 1 second, we'll finish this task up. Alright, there is that task done. That's actually awesome. I mean, the fact that I don't have to kill Scorpia anymore is really, really cool. It's really nice to have that boss wrapped up. There's actually 2 really cool things I want to touch on here that I actually kind of forgot about before. If you look in the collection log now, the Chaos Elemental is also fully green logged because I got the Dragon Pickaxe from a different boss, which is, I don't know, that's just really freaking cool, to be honest. I totally forgot that that was something that would happen, so that's fully green. And then if we scroll down to Scorpia, I did get lucky on the pet before this series started, so there's another boss where we have a fully green boss log now. That is awesome. Fully greening 2 boss logs in one video. That is really, really cool. I'm obviously not done with Wieldy Slayer yet, but very, very happy with that. And the only shard that we are missing is actually the Malediction shard from Chaos Fanatic, so hopefully I'll get a couple of boss tasks for that while we are out here, because that would be pretty cool. I might just wrap that up in the video too, just because, I mean, honestly, that would mean we're done with all the Wieldy demi-bosses entirely. Okay. Interesting. So normally I don't bank mid-task, but if you look in my inventory, you're gonna understand why I'm gonna bank mid-task. Dust Devils are apparently the play. Wow. There were a lot of PKers out, so I'm taking a little break to do something that is much needed, and that is restocking on anglers. I'll probably be here for like 4 or 5 hours or something, just to restock, so welcome to Iron Man life. Alright, so I've been fishing for, I want to say, like 7 or 8 hours. Not incredibly actively, obviously, because it's fishing. Who actively fishes anglers? But let's see what we ended up getting. Little over 1,100. I must have had a couple in the bank before. I probably got it closer to like 1,000, but now I get to find some more time to AFK these at some point, but that should last me a decent bit of time. I really only use anglers for like pre-potting when I'm going into like Tombstone Masket or Chambers, so yeah, that should last me a decent bit. Probably going to have to re-up the super combats at some point pretty soon. Not looking forward to that one. It must have been like 30 episodes since I've been back here, but I'm pretty much out of amethyst darts, so I figured I still need some AFK time. I'm pretty busy IRL right now, so why not just mine some amethyst, I guess. So maybe I was here like a little longer than I said I would be. I made 10,000 amethyst dart tips and got myself 49 unidentified minerals, as well as this stale baguette. Oh, and that's a bucket. Alright, well, I tried. So the reason I decided to stay here a little longer has nothing to do with the fact that the wilderness is absolutely packed, and ping makes it a little difficult to do solo raids right now. Absolutely nothing to do with that. It's purely because I wanted these unidentified minerals. And if I go over here and use my... Okay, maybe I don't use... Do I have to... Ugh, I have to talk to her? Ugh, talking to people. That's disgusting. I think if I talk to her then, she can combine... There we go. Combine my mining gloves into the expert mining gloves along with 60 minerals. Which, believe it or not, is actually a collection log slot. Oh wow, these are actually, like, pretty good to have, to be honest. So, apparently they have an effect of not depleting rocks when you're mining it. It's not a 100% chance, but it's actually pretty decent. It's 25% over here at Amethyst, which means that just makes this a little bit more AFK. And you might be thinking, well, that's stupid. When are you ever going to use that? Well, guess what? I'm an Iron Man. I'm going to need a lot of Amethyst darts in the future, and they're a lot easier to replenish than Dragon darts. So, it actually ended up being a really, really worthwhile thing to do. So, it might not be Wildy Slayer, but there is one more thing in the wilderness I want to do, and that's actually head back to the Chaos Fanatic. I'm at almost 1700 KC here, because I mentioned back in the day I was really, really dry on the Odium Shard. Well, now it's time for us to go back and get a Malediction Shard, because if we get this, we will have once again recompleted the Malediction and Odium wards, which I think I have all the shards of in here still. Yeah, so we have the full Odium ward with the ornament kit, 3 shards, full Malediction ward, and 2 shards. So if I get this, I'll not only complete the wards a second time, which is pretty cool, but I will also be fully done with all of the demi-bosses because I have the pet for Chaos Elemental, which I did get here the first time around. And since we finished Scorpio in this video and have the pet there, we will have full green logs for all of the demi-bosses, which is really cool, and I think that'd be an interesting little achievement. So I think I'm going to take an approach pretty similar to what I did with Callisto, and I'm going to try and just use 2 worlds when I'm doing this. So I'm going to put my cannon down on 1 world so I can get some faster kills, and then I guess I'll probably just normally kill it on the other world. I don't know, I'll see if that's actually a good idea or if I should just sit in 1 world with the cannon. Enter the most difficult and unexpected aspect of this boss, the fact that it's tagged on almost every single world. And you might be thinking, why is it tagged on every single world? Well, there are a good amount of people just killing it, but also, every time someone suicides on this boss from the Chaos Altar, it counts as tagging it, so I actually don't get the kill until it's killed and refreshed. Don't know why, wish they would change that. Hey, there's our first hard clue scroll. I do still have the Ring of Wealth imbued on, and in case I didn't make this like pretty clear before, you don't need to be on task for this to work. It's just in the wilderness in general. So I'll be getting some decent hard clues here at least. I'm pretty sure the rate's like 1 in 64? I want to say that I'm able to get probably like 50 to 60 kills per hour here if I'm running into worlds where they aren't tagged. But when I am running into worlds where they're tagged, it's probably more like 45, which still actually isn't terrible at all, but it's definitely frustrating running into several worlds in a row where the boss has been tagged already. Huh. I didn't know this was possible. I think the Fanatic is stuck. Yeah, he was stuck on that little miniature chaos cloud that was flying around in front of him. I did not know that those were things he could actually get stuck on. I'm sure there's probably some super weird safe spotting method that involves doing that, but that's new to me. Well, there is 1800 KC here at the Chaos Fanatic. Still haven't seen a shard yet, but hopefully that changes soon. Found myself this cheeky little dragon impling while doing a birdhouse run. Hopefully I can actually catch it. The irony, because I'm using Summer Pies while killing Chaos Fanatic. Thanks, game. Alright, there is 1900 KC now. I don't know if I'm going to set myself some kind of cutoff point. Maybe 2000. I'm not sure. I mean, like, it's not a crazy rare drop or anything. But I also realized I technically could get this passively while doing Wildy Slayer, so I don't know what really made me change my mind, but I guess I just really want to see some more green logs. Well, this kill is going to bring me up to 2,000 kill count on the Chaos Fanatic. Honestly, I'm a little curious where that actually puts me in terms of the Iron Man high scores, because who the hell actually kills the Chaos Fanatic on an Iron Man? Probably very, very few people, but still no malediction shard since coming back, unfortunately. We are at this point pretty substantially past the drop rate since returning to this boss, but hopefully we get it soon. Well, funny enough, I'm actually rank 4 at this boss right now. This might change by the time this video gets posted, but rank 4! That is really, really high. Decided to go cook up all those anglerfish that I caught earlier, and we are sitting at a little bit over 1,000 anglers now, which is just always comfy. Alright, well, this is going to be kill count 2,100. And honestly, I've been here for like a pretty good amount of time at this point, and I'm really not that desperate to get this shard, because like I said, I can still get it passively, so instead of staying here and burning myself out on the game, I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually just finish up this trip, do this hard clue, and then crack open those Laren's keys. I'm most likely not going to finish the full Dagenhai set in like the 30-something keys that I have, so I'm going to have to do more Wildy Slayer eventually anyway. But hey, if I finish it, then yeah, I'll come back and do this, because no point doing Wildy Slayer once I have the full Dagenhai set. Alright, let's get to cracking open these keys and hopefully not get PK'd. I probably should have double-checked what I was risking before stepping into the wilderness, but let's go ahead and do that now. Killed by a player above level 20. Okay, cool, I don't actually risk all that much besides the keys. I want to make sure I wasn't accidentally risking my Serp Helm or something there. Please don't get one shot when I walk up these stairs. Hopefully there's no one waiting to kill me. There's not. That would have really sucked to lose an entire week of Slayer. Alright, let's get cracking. Hopefully we can get some nice loot in here. Sharks is decent, but not particularly needed. Rune ore is pretty good. Steel bars is actually amazing. I always love getting steel bars. There is 100 opens on the Laren's chest for some more steel bars. Very, very nice. I believe we have 2 Dagenhai hats and nothing else right now. So I'm pretty sure we're technically lucky on seeing items. I can't remember exactly what the rate is, but I want to say it's like 1 in 80. Or something like that, so I'm not expecting to get anything here, but if we do, hopefully it's not another Dagenhai hat. Alright, well, we're down to 8 keys already. It's really painful that this was like literally an entire week of Wildy Slayer, and probably almost a little more than a week, actually. With a couple breaks, of course. And, yeah. Little rough. No Dagenhai pieces, unfortunately. But we did pass 100 chest opens. So I guess that's kind of cool. Alright, well. Let's go ahead and check what the looting bag actually has in it. 5.4 mil. You know, if you're talking, like, straight value, that's actually pretty good. That's almost like 150k per Laren's key. That's actually phenomenal in terms of like street value, but of course to me most of this stuff is pretty useless, though the dart tips, the arrow tips, and the bars are pretty good. This video I definitely bounced around a bit, but we did get some new collection log slots. We got all the way up to 888, and you know, I did get to start poking my hand at challenge mode raids a little bit. I want to do them more, but honestly Jagex keeps like reworking item stats and the way items work. So the main reason that I was actually doing them is because of the Fang, but the Fang just received a bunch of changes, so I don't know if it's even going to be particularly efficient to keep going at challenge mode, but I'll probably try some more next week and we'll see. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. That stuff all really does help me a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.